You've done it again, haven't you? You're a hero twice over. Brilliant! So it has, so it has. Are you feeling enlightened? Lighter? Lit? Why you would want to keep mucking around in Tamriel is quite beyond me. Nasty place. How do you get the smell out of your clothing? Well done indeed. Thank me. You're the one doing all the work, what with all your heroics and the daring-do. But if you enjoyed that, there's more in store for you. Well, you've experienced 2 of the 3 alliances. Care to finish the set, fill out your map, collect all the metaphors? If you're game, just touch Meridia's light and you'll be off again.
You're awake! Ha! I was worried you'd never wake up. You slept all the way from Canarthy's Roost, right through the hurricane.
The inspector checked my... Where do you need to go? I have business in Kenarthy's Roost. I can... Sweet. I never want to see another ship. I'll stay on this island for the rest of my life if I have to. They can't force me to go back, can they?
You there. Welcome to Kenarthy's Roost, friend. The hurricane must have been very disorienting. So many injured, confused. Keep your voice down. Try not to draw attention.
Razumdar is here on a mission of some delicacy. You are just what the Bandari ordered. Between your hands and Raz's good looks, we are certain to see this through.
First, a question. Where did you come from? A Daedric prince, you say? Raz has a nose for lies, but you seem clean as an ocean breeze. If anyone else asks you, where will you say you came from? My, you're a focused one, aren't you? It is good to be focused, but it is also good right now to fit in. Your sudden arrival, it does not fit in, you understand? You should not. You should trust your instincts. Leave if you wish. No one will stop you. Or, come with Raz and do what you can to help us recover. In the process, grow your stature and wealth. It is entirely up to you. Because you are no soldier, which is useful. You can speak with the locals, assure them we are not invaders or marauders. Now come, let us try to fit in. Commander Caranet, a moment? This recruit survived the shipwreck without injuries. You mentioned something about the shattered shoals, yes?
Glad you're up and about, recruit. I'm in need of a scout to head to Shattered Shoals. Most of our fleet foundered to the west, but we've had few survivors trickle in from that direction. We captured a sea viper spying on the camp. Those pirates never travel alone. Find out if they're around Shattered Shoals, and if so, what they're doing on this island. Of course, you should assist any shipwreck survivors you find. We must each do our part. Before you head to Shattered Shoals, speak with Eelsil. He just returned from exploring a nearby temple. That wizard claims to know something about everything, so he may have insight on how these sea vipers operate.
Eelsil is this way. Eelsil, this recruit wishes to speak with you.
Marvelous, isn't it? We'll have to construct a special room for the Morning Stone when we bring it back to the Mages Guild. I'm sorry, did you need something? Yes. The Temple of the Morning Springs is an old Khajiit ruin not far from here. We excavated the Morning Stone from one of the chambers. As you can see, its supply of water appears endless. What do you mean, pirates? In an ancient Khajiit temple? Preposterous! All we saw were the undead warriors that overran our camp. I have no idea. Actually, I have 12 ideas, but they're far less fascinating than the Morning Stone. Probably some sort of ancient curse. It usually is with these things. Arrogant sea elf pirates. To my recollection, they aren't known to raid Kanathe's route.
We should speak privately. Let's meet by the statues north of camp.
Everyone's ready to pass the blame. Even folks who know nothing about ships and sailing.
The ship was too close to shore even before the storm hit. I said as much before she sank.
An Altmer ship would have survived the Tempest intact.
Hello. I think you must have the wrong person. I only speak to two kinds of people, and you seem to be neither of them.
What's your step, Groundwalker?
Commander Kereneth asks for patience. Easy for her to say when my men are still out there. The longer we wait, the fewer will come back.
I'm not used to seeing so much open space. This is my first sea voyage. It's that sea elf. Marmor, they call them. I think he's doing it just to annoy us. If they just gag him, he couldn't cast his spells. But they need to question him, I suppose. I just hope he doesn't ruin my maps. Me? I guess I am now. In Valenwood, I was a cartographer. You know, a map maker. When they recruited me for this mission, I thought all I'd be doing is surveying land. Turns out, there's a lot more responsibilities. Oh well.
There, you see? You fit in and no one will stop you from walking away. But as this one said, there are opportunities here for people that fall from the sky. Ilsil is most impressed with his newest bauble. But the undead are a threat to all of Kanathe's roost. If you want to, you could search the Temple of the Morning Springs, determine how to contain the dead there. Then the locals should see we came here as allies, not conquerors. Kereneth told you how the hurricane dashed the fleet into Kanathe's roost. Now the sea vipers are picking at the bones of our ships. Strange, yes? You could scout the coast, as the commander said. Prove yourself to the soldiers. Oh, there's far less glamorous work to be done in Mistral, at the northern end of the island. Let's meet up there, after you've done what you decide to do. Until then, bright moons guide your steps.
Wish they'd just leave us alone.
This temple is a holy place. Leave off worldly things.
Exotic foods from the mainland. So fresh, it's still damp.
Weapons, freshly imported from the mainland.
The Temple of the Crescent Moons has such a beautiful view of the island. If only this one came here under better circumstances. Ah, Samayado was picked to return to Canarthy's Roost as part of the Dominion's military in the hopes that she can smooth the way for our forces to set up a more permanent base on the island. But it is a bittersweet homecoming. Yes, this one was born here, last of her littermates, but first to leave for the mainland. She joined the military when war broke out, and never imagined she'd be sent back home. This one had hoped to sail into the main port of Mistral, far north of here, and perhaps take a few days' leave to visit the nearby plantations. Her family still lives on the northern part of the island. Still, one still has hope.
We came here hoping to establish a Dominion naval base, but our forest of sails turned into a graveyard.
A hurricane blew up out of nowhere just as we got within sight of Canarthy's Roost. The seas went wild. We tried to make a safe landfall. Most of our ships foundered. I fear many of my men were lost, but I just don't know. A lot of the survivors came ashore near Eagle's Strand. Commodore Elpion suggested we move to high ground to survey the land. I think there might be more survivors along the western shore. We can see a lot of wrecked hulls from here.
While this temple has been disturbed by outsiders, the light of Joan and Jode still shines down upon it. That cannot be said of all places on Canarthy's Roost. Have you heard of the Temple of the Morning Springs? Ancient it is, but not visited by the people of the Roost. Avoid it they do, with superstitious dread. But someone must go there. Its waters are drying up, and the morning springs must flow. On the eastern side of the island. Go there, and your way will be revealed. Look for the moonstones. They are the key.
Cannot one set up a simple shop in peace? A ghost. One swears it was a ghost haunting the lower platform. Oh, my shop.
Do not disturb the ritual, cub. Our harvest depends upon it.
Come forth! Crystal moonlight, come forth!
This one gives thanks.
All this wasted effort. Blasted creatures get into everything. First the hurricane, then rats from the sea. What next, flying mud crabs? Surrender's mercy, we need more time before the inspection. Dominion inspectors. Headwoman Harani requested their aid to stop smugglers. We're honest farmers with good customers. Our moon sugar is used to spice food, not to brew skooma. When the inspectors learn we can't protect our fields, we're finished. Hairy, squirmy, squeaky little rats. They've infested the plantation since the storm. The inspectors will ask, if we can't protect our fields from those dung-dropping sugar eaters, how can we protect them from skooma-brewing thieves? Find out why Cindertail's Sench tigers roll on their backs instead of filling their bellies with rat. Does one expect to keep his job if the inspectors find vermin in our fields? At best, the inspectors will recommend our moon sugar be confiscated. To the east, the plantation burns. Was it due to the inspector's recommendations? Who can say? Either way, Mistral will weep for our passing. With laughing moons gone, skooma will flow through the streets. When moon sugar runs dry, people turn to smugglers. With smugglers comes skooma. But the inspectors aren't from here. If we tell them, they will not listen. Find out why Cindertail's Sench tigers roll up.
You let the rats get the better of you? And you call yourself warriors? Want to buy a carpet? How about 3? They aren't good for much else. Yes, Afe, even you. Do not eat the rats, this one says. Do they listen? No! Stupid Sench. Lazy Sench. They already did. That's the problem. Moon sugar makes you sleepy if you eat too much. Rats eat moon sugar, Sench eat rats, and then lazy Sench. Especially you, Gobani. Not with sugar bellies. These useless Sench could only kill a rat if they fell upon it. From a great height. Go inside, lock the doors, wait until they leave? No. Let this one think. Without Sench hunters, what could... Thunderbugs nest nearby. They defend their delicious eggs from anyone who'd make a meal of them, yes? If you grabbed an armload of eggs... Undoubtedly, but they'd hesitate to harm the eggs once you possess them. Smash an egg into each rat nest, and the Thunderbug's electric frenzy kills the rats before the inspectors arrive. You're sturdy, yes? A little shock won't stop you. Wonderful! Save some eggs for Cindertail, yes? They are so very tasty.
Nice hole.
nice little present from Beck, eh?
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
There's no question, Durandara. Your specialist certainly showed the vermin their place.
Of course, Inspector. We could expect nothing less of our specialists.
Halderil, make a note. Unorthodox methods, but vermin-free.
Sir.
Clever luring thunderbugs out of their mounds like that. A scheme worthy of Bandar himself. They're all gone then? Excellent. Our gracious Inspector has been most patient with us. Perhaps witnessing your ingenuity will affect his findings. Joan and Joe dance kindly with you, Walker. Whatever the findings of our esteemed Inspector, we are in your debt. You're truly one of the Walkers. We would do well to learn from your efforts.
If this place remains open, as has yet to be determined, the clan mother should hire you in a more legitimate capacity.
Can never have enough of that.
Can any of you hear me? Where are you? You there. Have you seen my squad? We were all on the little Alkosh, part of the Dominion fleet sailing for Canarthy's Roost. Then a hurricane blew up out of nowhere. Sails tore, hulls cracked, and we were thrown into the ocean. I ended up here. I can't find the rest of my squad. I thought I heard one of them calling out, but the ocean twists up sounds. If they're wounded or pinned down, could you keep an eye out for my soldiers? They answer to Edalus, Onglon, and Nistel. 2 of us can cover more ground. I'm sure my squad made it to shore alive. Dominion Marines constantly defy the sea's attempts to drown us, but hurricanes are another matter. I fear my squad is banged up worse than I am. Our ship's hold was packed full of an old Bosmer healing remedy. The labels say torchbug treacle, but Marines call it glow juice. The wreck scattered bottles across the beach must be what brought out the Aelids. Squat creatures made of teeth, claws, and endless hunger. I've heard their cries up and down the beach since I came to. Their sweet tooth is bigger than their walnut brains. I saw one of the stupid things swallow a whole bottle of blow juice. Good luck. Do me a favor. If you find them before I do, tell them the ocean hasn't killed me yet.
Who are you? Were you part of the fleet? Alive? Good. That's good. Wave smashed me against the ship. Cracked a few ribs. Not the best feeling. Tastes like sandals boiled in mint perfume. But if it knits my ribs, I'll drink the whole bottle. Good. I'll find Sergeant Firion. Go. Get them back safe.
I lost a lot of friends in that storm. Give me some good news. I saw her swept overboard in that damn storm. Held on to the rigging long as I could, but it tore the skin off my palms. If I can't hold a weapon, I'm useless to my squad. Do you have any bandages? I lost my kit to the sea. Blow juice? Used to think this stuff was only good for practical jokes on snowy days. Once I can heft Spleen Shanker, I'll push through the beach and find Sergeant Firion. How about you? Hope they appreciate their good fortune when you find them. I can get inland after I rest. Fight with purpose.
Bless Ifra.
I'm glad you came by. Have you seen any other Marines along the beach? She's alive. I suppose that's some luck amidst all this wreckage. Can't say the same for my leg. If I don't put too much weight on it, I can manage a good hobble. Glow juice? By the gods, it just might. Soon as I can stand on my own, I'll head inland. Lieutenant Gellin dragged me out of the water. He'll want to know Sergeant Virion and the rest of the squad are all right. I think he said something about looking for shelter in a nearby cave, but I was still coughing up sand.
Nothing wrong with a little opportunistic harvesting.
Turns out my squad were the ones who found me. Ever consider a career as a Dominion Marine? You'd make quite the scout. My squad said you were looking for Lieutenant Gellin. Have you found him? What do you mean? First, a hurricane blows out of nowhere and destroys our fleet. Then, an able-bodied Dominion Marine is captured and tortured to death? What else was in that cave? Some kind of sacrifice? This is too big for my squad to handle. We need reinforcements. Nistel spotted a beached ship nearby. It looks intact, and she spotted Dominion sailors aboard. We need to combine our forces and find who murdered Lieutenant Gellin. My squad and I need to pull his body out of that damn cave. Would you warn the sailors on that beached ship? They need to know it's not safe to wander around. Wait, take this. I found some glow juice while I was looking for my squad, but they're on the mend. You'll get used to the taste. We'll be along shortly. Watch yourself.
Lieutenant Gellin pulled me out of the water. Owed him my life. Not too late to pay him back.
Before the next sun sets, my blade will find a home in the heart of Lieutenant Gellin's killer. May the fates guide me to avenge him.
May Ifra look after Lieutenant Gellin. The gods know nothing will protect his killer once the sergeant learns their names. You go warn that ship. We'll prepare our friend for what awaits us all.
You aren't a slick-arsed sea viper or a cabbage-mouthed castaway. State your business with the crew of the Prowler. The hurricane killed hundreds of Marines. Why does it matter if one of them died in the cave? Oh. Well, the Prowler is like a hen in a wolf den until she's seaworthy again. Maybe your Marines can prove they're more than two-legged cargo and shiny armor. If they pitch in, I'll consider reinforcements. They up for it? Or are they all talk? And I'm sure they'll be as useful as they were in the hurricane. Should they care to prove otherwise, they're welcome to do actual work patching leaks in the Prowler's hold. Maybe they can locate a replacement helmsman's wheel in all this wreckage. Oh, and our Sunsighter. It must have fallen overboard when we beached. Our lookout saw those skink-fingered pirates make off with it. You'll have to get the Sunsighter back, any way you can. Sure, talking's easier than working. Well, ask. Barnacles on the arse. They're all sea elves. Malmer, they call themselves. Nothing more than pirates, if you ask me. Some say they have a connection to the water itself, but it's a lie. Anyone can learn weather magic like they do. Captain Jimala uses it to navigate. I could tell you how the sun and stars show the ship's exact position, but none of it matters while it's in the Sea Viper's hands. The pride of the long coast. We'll sail for the Dominion as long as they pay us to raid enemy shipping. Joan and Jode, don't let the captain hear you say that. Pirates steal and pillage for themselves. We're privateers, so we do it for whoever pays us. A crucial distinction. Captain Jimala took over the Prowler a few years ago. She's smart, cunning, and deadly dangerous when provoked. She's also luckier than anyone I served. Every ship in the fleet smashed to flinders on Kynarthi's roost. Every ship but the Prowler.
These aren't Dominion sailors. They're privateers. Just our luck. We'll show that old sea cat what Dominion Marines can do. Edalus is the best scrounger in the regiment. If you want, I can send him out to look for a helmsman's wheel. He's on his way. Anything else we can do? Nustellis is good with a mallet as she is with her sword. I can have her patch the Prowler's leaks. She'll have those leaks fixed in no time. What else? Onglorn is our best tracker. He can recover the Sunsighter in no time. I almost pity the Sea Viper who's holding on to the Sunsighter. Onglorn will recover it soon enough. What else needs doing? It's time for that mangy privateer to make good on his promise. Maybe you should do the talking. I'll just rub it in.
That was fast. All right. There's room on the Prowler for your Marine friends, as long as they work for their meals. I said I'd consider it. Captain Jimala is the only one who can make that call. Something you'll want to hear. You just made the Prowler seaworthy, and Captain Jimala always pays her debts. Go talk to her. She only bites if you give her good reason.
Due to your efforts, the Prowler is free to sail once the tide comes in. Those Marines did their part as well. I have no reinforcements, but I offer something better. I know who's killing the Dominion soldiers, and I know how to stop it. Our lookout watched the Sea Vipers drag a Dominion Marine into a cave. Later, he saw your friends remove the Marine's body. If we weren't so short-handed, I'd have ordered his rescue. But 3 of my own crew were missing. Before we understood the danger, I sent my crew to scavenge among the shoals so we might repair the Prowler. We thought they disappeared, but one just returned, and she tells a harrowing tale. The Sea Vipers happened. Now there's a new storm brewing, and I fear they're the cause of it. Mustangui recovers below. Hear what she has to say for yourself.
Well played, Master Thief.
The sea vipers are insane! They're trying to create another hurricane! Sir Verkvild and I were scavenging for a replacement helmsman's wheel when the sea vipers ambushed us. They brought us to the island with the beached Dominion flagship. They'd done things there. Terrible things. Those filthy Maormer dragged my mates up and tied them to these serpent-shaped statues. Then they started chanting, and lightning surrounded them. That's when the storm began to form around the island. Yes, I'm sure of it. It was a terrible sight. The sea vipers were so caught up in the ritual, I slipped free. I tried to grab Sir, but the lightning held him fast. Then one of the sea vipers yanked at him. I saw the Maormer's wrist glow. The Maormer wore lodestones on their wrists. It let them ignore those lightning bonds, but I couldn't find any more, so I jumped off the ship and swam for it. Please, don't let them sacrifice my crewmates.
Those sea vipers are insane! They won't kill me today!
Sur and Verkvild returned just after the skies cleared up. They're a bit damp, but otherwise all right. My lookout says I have you to thank. Then we'll finish repairs and shove off at high tide. Oh, your marine friends fended off sea vipers while you rescued my crew. They're welcome aboard, as long as they want. Perhaps we'll see you at Mistral. You'll always have a place on the Prowler. We'll take the Marines with us when we sail to Mistral. I hope to see you there.
Small port serves as a trading hub for the moon sugar plantations on Canarthi's Roost, home to the tastiest double rum in the southern seas. Lots of Maormer there. They even have an embassy. That means problems for the Dominion. Maormer are sea elves. The High Elves kicked them off their island, so they found a new highland. But for some reason, even though nobody's around to remember any of this, they want the first island back. Elven feuds. You know how it goes.
We'll finish repairs by high tide. We've got to.
Can never have enough of that.
I hear your pain, Old One. I'm doing what I can. Windcatcher Plantation depends on the Great Tree, yet it sickens before my eyes. Our fates are like leaves in its branches. Do you see that strange miasma? It appeared on the Great Tree after the hurricane, like a sickness. I've done what I can, but I fear it's not enough. There's a cave directly beneath us. I called a spirit there to heal the Great Tree's roots, but it hasn't returned. Would you see what holds the spirit back? And aid it if you can. I can feel the spirit's frustration. It wants to help the Great Tree, but something prevents it. The spirit is old and powerful. It seeks to move from root to root, aiding the Great Tree as it's able. But it's a healing spirit of singular purpose. It doesn't know how to defend itself. I'm uncertain. If so, the spirit must be protected from harm while it heals the Great Tree's roots. It knows what it must do. The Great Tree shields Windcatcher Plantation from the winter winds and keeps our settlement shaded from the heat of the summer. Its story entwines with ours. When the wind goddess Kanathi first traveled across the heavens, legends say she grew tired and rested in the branches of a small sapling before resuming her journey. That sapling became the Great Tree and gave Windcatcher Plantation its name.